Good afternoon and welcome to the Virtual Cheese Awards 2020. We're showcasing the best of British cheese. My name is Sarah DeWitt, I'm a co-founder, and today I'd like to introduce you to our expert judges, Jo Mason and Tom Chatfield. Would you like to just say a few words about yourself, guys, please?
Well, yeah, hello. So I'm Jo Mason. I've been working for 25 years in the Artisan cheese world, which has been a real privilege. I initially studied a degree in food science, and so I'm really interested in how the cheese is made and how we can optimize it. And so it's been great to work with producers and to be able to judge cheese at events like this. So thank you very much.
And I'm Tom Chatfield. I've spent the last decade or so selling English cheese, mostly cheddar, around the world, and had the opportunity to judge at various competitions domestically and internationally whilst doing that, and also to visit various sort of dairies around the world and even make a few different cheeses along the way. So yeah.
Thank you very much. So Jo and Tom are going to be judging the best sheep milk soft cheese. And just so you know how they're judging, they are working on a point system. They have 6 attributes which they score out of 10. So there's a total of 60 points, and the winning cheese has the highest number of points. Okay, off you go. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, so 253. So this looks quite
or 254 rather.
Sorry.
Oh, so no, sorry. Yeah, you're right. 253, isn't it? Yeah. So it's. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, this little bloomy rind.
So I mean, obviously it looks it's got some colour on the rind. It looks like it's probably the end of shelf life. But that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. It's actually running a little bit out, so it's quite keen to go. And
I guess ripeness is often a matter of preference and subjectivity, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it may have it's had a long journey to get here, so I'm going to definitely allow for that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and that's something particularly with these kinds of cheeses.
Yeah.
Because
so in terms of appearance, I'd actually mark it quite high.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very even coat of mould.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not too furry, not too bare.
No, and the rind doesn't look too thick.
Right.
I can tell so far. And it's breaking down obviously inside the cheese. It's possibly broken down. I don't know if you can. I don't know if it's the same for you, Tom, but it's coming away a little bit from the rind.
Right. You get that kind of saturation rather
slightly
than
negative there. But
yeah, agreed.
So in terms of appearance, I would say an 8. And if it wasn't coming away from the rind, I'd probably give it more than that. Are you happy with an 8?
Yeah, very happy, yeah.
And on the nose, actually, because it looks like it's quite well developed, you might expect a tiny bit of ammonia in the mix of what's coming off it, but actually it's quite nicely balanced. There's nothing negative in there. So I think 8 on Aroma.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, so flavours, there's a nice kind of meaty sort of edge to that. You get a good bit of the sort of sheepiness, but without too much of the wool sort of thing.
Yeah, the paste is really nice.
Yeah,
but I think the rind is it possibly has gone a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Having said that, if you were to have it on a bit of bread, a glass of wine, I think you'd be really happy with that. But on its own, maybe in the British market, some people would find that a little bit too strong, I think.
Yeah, I think tasting the paste on its own, I get much more kind of clean, milky flavour.
Really good.
Whereas, yeah, there's a little bit more bitterness and not as much balance with the rind included. So
yeah, the rind is a little bit aggressive on the back of your throat.
Right. Yeah, there's a sort of hotness there, right?
Yeah.
So perhaps a 6 overall.
Well, I give it a bit more than that, actually. I think definitely a 7, if you're happy with that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it's only that sort of lively rind, and I think we have to remember that, you know, it's had to get there, then get here, and
Quite. Yeah. In these unprecedented times, it's like all of us, it's figuring out what works in the new version.
Texture, again, because of that sort of slip under the rind, that just brings it down from being really, really quite good.
Yeah.
So I give it an 8 for texture.
Yeah, it feels like if we'd seen it, you know, a bit earlier in its development, we'd have probably been really happy about that.
Yeah. And the aftertaste, actually, it's got a lovely long flavour, hasn't it? You don't, that sort of slight tiny touch of ammonia doesn't last on the flavour.
No, you get kind of all the benefits of the,
I think so,
sort of cleaner, animally, sort of warm, sheepy flavours, as I would think of it.
And creamy.
Yeah.
So I'd like to give it a 9, actually, for...
Yeah, I agree.
So true to character, yes. I mean, you got quite a camembert smell, haven't you, on the...
Yeah, sort of fungal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty classic, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a good example of.
Yeah. So you can see now how, now that I've cut it open, how really the rind, you know, if I just, the paste is running away from the rind a little bit. So I think, again, possibly because of that, I'd put it as an 8 for true to character.
See, yeah, I think I'd be more inclined to go 9, actually.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Great. So
That was something completely different. So now we've got what looks like a cream, a sheep's milk cream cheese.
Yeah, so as far as appearance, I mean, again, it's difficult to distinguish sort of one from another, essentially, but doesn't have anything untoward about it. I
mean, yeah, so appearance, there's, it looks like a cream cheese. It looks ever so slightly, I don't know how you describe the look of almost processed cheese. And it'd be interesting to see if there's anything that they put in it other than just the curd. Or slightly gelatinous texture.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think it's negative. I'm sure that's the intention. And I think maybe an 8 for appearance.
Yeah.
Aroma, I don't really get much aroma at all from that.
So I'd say, if anything, I get
slightly milky,
a slightly sort of stale edge to it.
Right.
Just that, yeah, sort of lacks that freshness that I would expect.
I think because from a sheep you expect a little bit of lemoniness, don't you? So maybe a 6 on aroma?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So it's really creamy. It has got some acidity. But it dies quite quickly, the flavour, which is possibly what you might expect from a cream cheese. But
yeah, and again, I sort of get that drying edge to it. And it's not quite as far as, I wouldn't say fizzy, but there's something else.
I sort of want a bit more sweetness in it, actually, from a sheep milk as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, I think, lack that fresh dairy kind of edge to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, I'd be inclined to go maybe a 5 on the flavour.
Yeah. The texture is, I mean, you know, it's slightly unusual for that. I mean, you're kind of expecting a cream cheese, but it's got that, there's a bit of a processed aspect to it.
Yeah, it does have a bit of a, as you said earlier, sort of looking at it, the gelatinous does come through on the texture, I think. So there's a bit of a maybe clagginess.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not weighing off, and it's, you know, it's homogeneous. It's not particularly negative. I think it's obviously what they've tried to do. There's 6 maybe on texture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything negative particularly on the aftertaste. It's because it goes quite quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's
like
probably actually a bit cleaner than the core flavour. So maybe a 6 rather than a 5.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, true to character, 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I think probably again on account of the flavour and texture observations that we made.
But it's interesting, isn't it? Because I mean, sheep milk cheeses that you come across are often sort of like they're in a pot, and they're sort of paler and more maybe slightly grainy. This is quite an unusual texture.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess more of a sort of set texture.
Yeah.
So that's 254, and then 255. So we've got a nice little wedge of blue. Yeah.
I was wondering if we shouldn't come back to this at the end, Tom.
Yeah, Sarah, is that
allowed?
With that?
Thanks. Only we've got a young-looking one.
Yeah, just in terms of getting kind of sensory organoleptic.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so 256. Another better style. Texture. Quite firm under the knife.
So appearance, yeah, I mean, again, it's a little perhaps on the drier side for a feta, but then
yeah,
since it's not in the fresh class, I guess.
And more curdy than crumbly, I think.
Yeah. So an 8 on appearance?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then aroma, yeah, again, that I get, yeah, a bit more kind of cooked sugary.
It's delicate, isn't it? But it's
yeah,
quite sweet, milky. I mean, what it should be, really.
Yeah. So 7 maybe on aroma.
Yeah. Flavour's lovely.
Yeah.
Sweet, caramelly, and balanced by the lemon.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that is lovely. It's really enjoyable.
Yeah, very Moorish.
And I couldn't. There's nothing. It's clean. It's balanced. I mean, I think it probably should have a 10.
Yeah.
Like I said, texture I find a little bit more curdy than crumbly.
Yeah. So it's almost less of a soft cheese and more of a, as you say, a sort of curdier or younger iteration of what might become a hard cheese.
So maybe a 7 on texture.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very pleasant. Yeah.
And aftertaste is lovely.
Yeah.
You get left with all the nice things that you're tasting when you're eating it.
Right.
So maybe a 9 on after flavour.
Yeah, it's got a good dance of all of those flavours, and it's persists in spite of not being that strong of a flavour to begin with. So
really delivers that one. True to character, 9.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's doing its own thing a little bit there.
Yeah, a little less curdy, and I'd probably give it a 10.
Yeah, agreed. So that's 256. And then we're on 257.
257 is waxed. I've scored the top.
So here's one we cut earlier. Yeah.
So it looks like it's been made in a little basket type mold, doesn't it?
Right.
So appearance, actually, it's lovely. It's actually really pretty, and it's been nicely waxed as well.
Yeah.
Not an easy job.
Yeah, adds a bit of interest.
Yeah.
And actually, yeah, especially given how it is a softer cheese, don't often see those in wax.
Yeah, I wonder if that is even more tricky, actually.
I would imagine so.
So a 9 on appearance.
And then aroma.
It's quite delicate, isn't it? There's a bit of milkiness there.
Yeah. But there's also, like a bit of lemony, maybe brightness to it. Sort of suggests that it will be good things ahead.
8 on aroma.
Yeah, I think so. Again, that style's never going to have dramatic aroma, but given that it is, it's got quite a good bit.
So it's there's not a lot of characteristic flavour, but there is a lovely lemoniness in it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's quite young, so I guess
you're
sort of unlikely to get an awful lot more than that.
And a bit of sweetness as well. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
And should we just taste towards the edge? I'm just sort of curious about the wax.
Mm. So that's the problem with wax cheese, isn't it? That you do find sometimes they can take on that flavour paraffin wax slightly on the edge. And I think because this is a younger cheese, it doesn't hold its own quite so well in wax.
Yeah. Probably more moisture to sort of pick up some of those waxy flavours.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't got so often wax truffles are cheddars, and they've got so much more punch to hold up.
Yeah.
But you're
Very true.
So, flavour, I think 7 or an 8.
7.5.
Sure. I really enjoy the texture, actually. So, because it's not, it's quite firm, but slightly. Well, it's not curdy, is it? But it is slightly.
It's got like it's quite kind of good body, but then it's.
Yeah, and I guess it might be a ricotta style that you then could cook with it. I think it's really nice, actually.
Yeah.
So texture an 8.
Yeah. And aftertaste, I think there's quite a lot actually. That again, relative to where the flavour starts out, a lot of it stays on.
Yeah, it holds its own really well, doesn't it, for that style? Yeah, I think maybe an 8 for that one.
Yeah.
And I think we could mark it quite happy for its character as well.
Yeah, again, it's kind of doing its own thing, isn't it? And
Yeah, but it's got the good things you want from a sort of a soft sheep. You know, it's got the lemony, it's got the sweet, it's balanced. It's a great texture, and the appearance is lovely. You know, maybe it's like a ricotta style.
Yeah, I guess it's just the misfortune of that is the wax sort of thing on the edge flavour there. But yeah, it definitely adds to the character as well. So
do you think a 9?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So 258.
Yeah.
Another mould ripened. Quite different to the first one though.
Yeah. So a heavier rind on it, more fluff.
Yeah, it's just a much firmer.
Right.
So really white, really clean coat.
Yeah.
There's no breakdown in there. Really thin rind, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So for appearance, maybe a 9.
Sorry.
Maybe a 9 for appearance.
Yeah, I guess what occurs to me is it looks a little younger and a little heavier on the rind.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably possibly a bit less interesting in a way than the first one of this style.
And we are in the artisan class, and I think, you know, interest kind of is important in that respect.
So possibly an 8.
Yeah, I think so. It has perhaps the appearance of something a bit more stable than the average artisan cheese. Yeah.
Do you know, I suppose for me, I'm so impressed when anyone managed to get a clean rind like that. You know, no mucor, there's nothing at all untoward. You think, pick my hat off, really.
Yeah, no mean feat.
Yeah.
And then aroma. So there's not a huge amount. I mean, it's the classic penicillin.
It's the rind, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd probably be looking for a bit more of something maybe fungal or animal-y.
Just something more complex. Maybe just something sheepy even. Or
yeah, so maybe a 6 on aroma.
Yeah. And actually the flavour, it's quite dominated by the rind as well, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, it feels like sort of more Asian complexity.
Mm.
Did you say drying?
Yeah, it's a little bit of drying and astringent in the mouth.
Yeah, I definitely get that. And because it's quite sort of milky in the paste, there's not enough to sort of balance back that.
I'm looking for a bit more character, really.
Yeah, agreed.
It's it's perfectly well behaved. It's
right.
Just maybe more flavour from the paste.
Mm-hmm. So 6.
Yeah.
And texture-wise, I got quite a, that sort of papery chew on the rind.
What you'd really like to see is some differentiation in the paste. So a little bit of breakdown, perhaps under the rind.
Right. Yeah, where you've got a much more chalky.
I mean, it is there a little bit, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think
sort of the beginning of
the fridge, at room temperature, ready for today. I suppose I just want personally to see a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe a 6 or a 7 on texture.
Yeah, I think a 6.
Okay.
Because yeah, I think the breakdown, but also that paperiness on the
Yes.
from the heaviness of the rind.
I mean, it's lovely and thin. It just it's quite a little tiny bit tough.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where it gives it that sort of chewiness. That's.
Mm. So nothing really negative on the aftertaste.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I want a bit, like I say, a bit more character, maybe a bit of sweetness, maybe a bit of salt, a bit more complexity.
Yeah.
So maybe a 7.
Yeah, sure.
And I'd say maybe 7 again on true to character, because.
Yeah, agreed. As you say, it's, you know, by no means an easy cheese to pull off.
Absolutely.
And just, yeah, those things that we mentioned would, I think, make it a little more kind of true to form there.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of Hafnia in there or something.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the blue, which is 255.
Yeah. Right.
So sheep milk blue, probably not an easy one to make either.
No, absolutely.
So it's got quite a lot of blue in it, and it's quite even.
Yeah.
It presents really well, actually. It looks really nice.
Yeah, and a really nice, distinct, like natural rind on it.
Yeah, I'd be thinking about giving that one an 8 or 9 for appearance.
Yeah, I'd be happy with a 9 for sure.
Okay.
Aroma, yeah, I get kind of nutty, like warm up.
There's no ammonia there on the nose, is there?
No.
Quite blue.
Maybe a touch in the middle, actually. Yeah, I get a little bit, but I think, again, given the travel of the cheese and everything else, it's...
Yeah.
So I'm thinking an 8.
Yes. Yeah, it's actually, it makes you want to taste it, doesn't it? It's
right. Yeah, it's got curb appeal.
Yeah. Just a characteristic blue flavour.
Mm-hmm.
It actually is quite a bit more developed than you expect it to be from what you can smell. But I quite like how it's quite balanced with the salt.
Mm-hmm.
It's not overpowering, and I don't really get, well, so far I haven't got ammonia in the flavour. I'll try some more.
No, I think I like there's a good mix of like salty and sweet, especially at the front of the flavour, and those kind of nutty aromatics. But it gets a bit more sort of drying and bitter, sort of, which might be, it's sort of mid to late flavour, so maybe we address that in the aftertaste, but it's kind of a game of two halves there, I think.
Yeah, actually I don't get bitter on it, but I do get a bit more, there's a tiny bit of ammonia on it towards the end. But I think it's quite well balanced, having said that.
Yeah, I think on the front I get that, and then I'm a little more on the fence about the sort of finished flavour there.
Yes, I really like it. I think it's really good. Yeah.
Also, if we talk about flavour as far as front flavour, I mean, I'd be inclined to score it quite highly there.
Yes, okay. Maybe a 9, 8 or 9?
Yeah.
Which one? Are you happy with a 9?
A 9 sounds good, yeah.
Okay. But I agree with you. It what you're left with is slightly aggressive. It's not unbalanced, but maybe that's a 7 in terms of aftertaste.
Yeah.
Or do you think that's a little bit?
Well, I do get yeah, a bitterness on the finish, which is quite distinct for me.
Yeah.
So I'd
Okay.
be inclined to maybe go 6.
That's fine.
And there's a bit of a hotness there, which, I mean, some blues, obviously, that's part of the character of them. So
Yeah, piquant. So texture, it was a bit grainy, but I don't think that's a problem. Yeah, I think you'd expect that when it's sort of well developed like that.
yeah, and it kind of feels like this type of the blue, sort of wetter, with not such a thick rind, will tend to show up that way.
So maybe a 7 or 8 for texture.
Yeah, I think an 8.
Okay. True to character, it's, you know, it all reminds me a little bit of a Picante Gorgonzola. But again,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
handling sheep milk, it can be more challenging, can be a bit less robust than cow's milk. So I think to have made a blue sheep and it would be so balanced as it is, I think it's quite an achievement.
yeah, and things like the hotness can be, or the warmth on the finish can be, as I say.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just been it's a little bit older than it might be at its absolute perfection.
Yeah, could be. So I'm thinking sort of a 6, 7.
Okay, 7.
Yeah. So yeah, that would put our first as 256.
Okay.
Our second is 257 with that half point.
Okay.
And our third is 253.
The first one.
Are you comfortable with that, Joe?
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm just checking my numbers, and yeah, that's great.
All right, great.
So,
yeah.
So
Sarah,
just to confirm, your first is 256, your second is 257, and your third place is 253.
right.
Yeah, excellent.
Cool.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for taking care on the best sheep's milk soft cheese class. Looks like there are some interesting cheeses there and different attributes coming out. The latter one being a blue. So thank you very much for watching, and just to make you aware that on the 18th of July we will be live on our platform and on Facebook, and you'll be able to see live judging of the categories, consumer choice class, and also Supreme. Thank you very much, and hopefully see you then. Bye bye.